Stage 1 of self-quizzing is called Prepare. During this stage, I need to make sure that I have all the right equipment that will allow me to complete the self-quizzing activity correctly. What is the correct equipment? Firstly, I need to have my writing pen. I need to have a pen that's in a different colour, ideally purple, but if not, any other colour would do. This is my checking pen. I need to have a ruler, my self-quizzing exercise book, the relevant knowledge organiser, and something to cover up the knowledge organiser, which in this case I'm just using a chocolate lid. When I have the correct equipment, I'm going to start off by opening up my self-quizzing book, turning to a fresh page, and on this page, using my writing pen, I'm going to write down the date in the top right hand corner. And I'm going to give this a title, and I'm going to call it Self-Quizzing Homework 1 Christmas Carol. I'm then going to make sure that I have underlined my title and my date. And that is my prepare stage completed. Stage 2 of self-quizzing is called memorize. During this stage, I'm going to spend a small amount of time, roughly 2 to 3 minutes, reading a small section of the knowledge organiser that my teacher has asked me to study, and I'm going to try to memorize the content, and I can do that by reading it as many times as I can within that 2 to 3 minute period, but also I can read it back to myself so that my ears are hearing what my mouth can say, and hopefully it is being memorized in a short-term way. So in this example, I am going to be memorizing the first keyword, which is apathetic, with the definition showing or feeling no interest, enthusiasm or concern. And I'm going to spend no more than 2 to 3 minutes memorizing this Tier 2 vocabulary. I am now going to begin stage 3, which is testing. And in this stage, I'm going to first cover up the knowledge organiser. So, like I mentioned earlier, I have my chocolate box lid, and I'm going to simply cover it up so I can no longer see it. And then I'm going to write down in my self-quizzing book what I had been memorizing. So in this case, I was memorizing the definition of apathetic, and I'm going to have a go at writing that down in my book. Stage 4 is checking. I'm now going to take my self-quizzing pen. I'm going to uncover the knowledge organiser, and I'm going to check to see whether my self-quizzing is correct or not by looking at the knowledge organiser to see if I've made any mistakes. And in this case, I have not made any mistakes, so I'm going to place a small tick next to my work to indicate that it is correct. I'm now going to move on to the next vocabulary in the list. So I'm going to spend 2 to 3 minutes memorizing the next word and its definition by repeating the word multiple times, or saying the word aloud, or another way that I could complete some practice is by rewriting the word multiple times on a scrap piece of paper, just so it can help embed into my mind. No more than 2 to 3 minutes. So I have spent 2 to 3 minutes memorizing the next vocabulary on my list. I'm now entering stage 5, which is testing. So like I did before, taking my lid, covering the work that I have been memorizing, taking my writing pen and writing down what I remember from my memorizing activity. I am now at stage 6, where I'm going to check my work. So I'm going to take my checking pen, uncover the hidden content from my knowledge organizer, and check every single word, making sure that I am marking if it is correct, and if it is not correct, or if I'm missing anything, that I'm correcting in a different colored pen. And actually, when I check here, in this example, the definition of benevolent I have written down well-meaning, whereas actually on the knowledge organizer it says well-meaning and kindly. So I need to add those words that I'm missing from my definition into my self-quizzing sentence. I'm now going to repeat the process of memorizing and then testing and then checking for the remaining homework terms that my English teacher has asked me to complete. Once I have completed the section of self-quizzing work that my teacher has asked me to complete, I'm going to underline my work using a ruler, and then I'm going to repeat the process below, so that I can continue to practice and memorize these words until I'm making ideally no mistakes, but less mistakes than above. You can see for some of these definitions I've missed words. For some of the definitions in my first attempt I didn't remember anything. That's okay, that's part of the learning process. But I'm now going to repeat this process here underneath so that I can test to see if I am learning by doing these self-quizzing words in the following way.